Welcome to the Manna at the Tap, a podcast of Tapestry Ministries. It is Monday, January the 20th, 2025. The podcast offers a daily Bible reading from the Revised Common Lectionary. We at the Tapestry community call this reading the Manna we explore together. It is the spiritual nourishment our souls desire and the substance required to foster our spiritual growth. I'm Gloria, a fellow traveler with you on a spiritual journey, and together we can share insights and interpretations from the daily biblical lectionary reading, which will enrich our spiritual lives. In just a few weeks, Hallmark cards will be gushing with sentiments about love, and the flower shops will be filled with red roses, the flower of love. This will all be in time for Valentine's Day. Today's lectionary reading is Romans chapter 12, which is also an invitation to share the gift of love throughout the year. Love originated with God, who demonstrated his love for humanity. And Romans 8:35, verses 35 to 39, provides a list of everything that might be thought of to separate us from God's love. However, nothing can separate us from the love of God. When we accept and embrace God's love for ourselves, and we truly understand that He loves us, we are then empowered to share that same love with others. But it's essential to follow the guideline outlined in 1 John chapter 1, verse 9. Here it is. We receive and we accept God's love for ourselves. Then we can extend that same love to others. Now, how do you recognize your love for others? We love them through God's mercy and not by desiring God to punish them. So, how do you recognize that you love others and how you can love others? You love them through God's mercy and not by desiring God to punish them. The lectionary reading is Romans 12, verses 9 to 21, which begins, love from the center of who you are and don't fake it. Hate evil and do good. We've discovered there are four cycles of relationships in which we can express sincere and non-hypocritical love, presented as imperatives in our lectionary reading. The first circle. The first circle of relationship involves being part of a community with like-minded individuals. And the imperative is to remain devoted to one another with mutual love. Life in itself is challenging, so don't face it alone. We all need community. The second circle in the relationship is hospitality. And the imperative is to reach out to those in the community who need help and help them. But hospitality goes even further. We can share hospitality with the stranger with whom we interact. The third circle of relationship expands to include enemies. And the imperative is to wish only good for those who mistreat us. And one way to do that is to ask God to bless them. You see, Jesus told his followers in his Sermon on the Mount that we are to bless those who curse us and pray for those who abuse us. This imperative, I think, is challenging. And to be able to carry it out, in verse 19 of the lectionary reading, we are encouraged not to punish anyone who wrongs us, but to wait for God to punish them. Well, there's a little test to see if you really can put up with your enemies. And that text is found in verse 20 of our reading. And it says, if you have a hungry enemy, will you provide them with something to eat and drink? If you can do that, hopefully they will feel remorseful and you will have the patience to let God administer justice. The fourth circle of relationship encompasses everyone else. And the imperative is to strive to live in peace with all. Don't allow evil to overcome you, but you can overcome evil by performing good deeds. The love of the divine family encourages us to cultivate a life rich in love. The essence of true love is not merely a singular achievement, but a daily endeavor of learning and growing in God's love. Life is complicated. Handle it with love. Life is complicated. Handle it with love.